If you've recently updated from Laravel 10 to Laravel 11, you've noticed that the way that middleware works is a bit different. So in this case, I got an example of an application, my website, which I have as well, which does run a fair bit differently. So if you take a look at that, you can see that it still uses Laravel 10. So I'm still updating the application, but if we take a look at that in here, we can see how the middleware works compared to in Laravel 11. So in this case, we would have a kernel file, which would be, in this case, app http kernel. And in here we would apply all of these middlewares, which is how we do it in Laravel 10 and before. But in Laravel 11, there's been a significant update to it. So by default, we already have all of the standard middlewares that gets applied with Laravel applied. But let's say you wanted to create a middleware in here, for example, php make middleware, test middleware. Now, how would you apply that in Laravel 10 and Laravel 11? So in Laravel 10, if you wanted to apply this, for example, for the any web-based middleware for any one, you could just go ahead and say test middleware here, and put the class in, and that would be it. But in here, in Laravel 11, you would have to go ahead and use the middleware function here, which has a nice class you can take a look at. And in here we have append, which appends the middleware. We also have remove, where we can remove a middleware. And essentially what you can go ahead and say, for example, here is middleware append test middleware class. And then we can essentially go ahead and pass that through. And it's just one of the ways that Laravel 11 works a tiny bit differently. I think is something that can be a little bit confusing for some people when they're just changing around from 10 to 11, exactly how we go through with this. And if we take a look in here, we only apply this in here, but we could go even further and use replace function in here. There's also a use function here, append to group, remove from group, and replace in group. And then we also have the option to go ahead and specifically say where we want to apply it here. We're saying web. And then in this case, if we take a look, we have append, prepend, remove. So what we can go ahead and say in here is just append, and we can say test middleware, and there we go. And then we can go ahead and just add in whatever function we want inside our middleware. We could even go ahead and say API here, for example, if we wanted to do the same for the API. We could also say remove, in this case, the test middleware, if we assume that was a default middleware, and so on. So that's essentially a very basic example of how middleware work, and you will find this file inside app bootstrap app.php. Now for this course and for this video, I'm just gonna get rid of it here because we don't actually need to apply any middleware in here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it as it was. But thank you very much for watching this advent calendar. Please stay tuned for tomorrow, where we're gonna be talking about inertia forms. Enjoy your day, and please hit the like and subscribe button. See you in the next one.